Good morning, students. This is Sushila from Mechanical Department, SNS College of Engineering. So, this is a session for a case study in a row for a week 3 for a kinematics of machinery subject. So, guys, today's topic for our case study is of very much interest to you people, for you generation. So that is the latest trends in braking systems for automobiles. So what are all the recent trends and latest trends and latest technology and innovations that is being incorporated or invented in braking systems for automobiles, let's say for a common people, or a braking system for sports vehicles or for a train, bus, etc. So in recent days, as the traffic is keep on increasing and the safety point is a very threatening one in the modern and very fast world. So I think this topic is very much of useful for you people to have a breath that okay, we are moving towards safest driving point with these type of inventions. So So this is the introduction. Let's have a small recap of what do you mean by the braking system means. So this transparent figure which you are seeing is having will give you a basic idea of what is the fundamental of braking system means. So there will be a steering wheel, and the steering wheel is connected to the master cylinder and servo system, and this is the brake system, brake pedal, so that when you press brake pedal, what is happening, the disc which are attached to those tires will compressed against the wheels. So due to the frictional force, these tires will stop. So that's the fundamental working of our braking system. So let's see, a braking system is defined to, what for that braking system is to slow down or halt the motion of vehicle, or you can say any moving element which needs the brake. Even our mental thinking needs a brake, even our work continuous walking needs a brake. So the braking is a common term which used to stop something whenever it needs. So in this automobiles, the braking system is designed to slow and halt the motion of vehicle. So what for doing this, we have so many various components within the braking system which converts the vehicle's moving energy into heat. So you can see the brake pipes. This is the brake pipe, and this is the braking pedal, and the master cylinder and servo unit, and this is the rear drum brake. That's a rear brake drum, and this is the front disc, and that if you want to have a hand brake also there, and a hand brake lever is there. So these are some of the components of braking, and you all know that the braking is wholly depends upon, initially it's done by using only the frictional force. So what do you mean by the friction? It's a friction is the resistance to movement exerted by two objects on each other. So if any two objects are in contact, if they want to resist the movement of one another, that resisting force is called friction. So with that introduction, I will move on to the next slide. So in our KOM subjects, we have seen so many types of brakes in our study. So such type is one type is the drum brake, which are used in all the conventionals till the date. So the brakes, drum brakes have the drum attached to the wheel hub, and braking occurs by means of brake shoes expanding against the inside of the drum. So the brake in a drum brake, the friction is caused by a set of shoes or pads that pressed against the inner surface of the rotating drum, whereas the drum is connected to the rotating wheel. So when the inner pads press against the inner surface of the rotating drum, then the drum pressed against the wheel, so the wheel stops. So this is drum brake. Then the next one is disc brake, which is the next to the drum brake. Here the instead of drum, we are using disc, a disc type of an element which is attached to the wheel hub. Maybe it's clamped between two brake pads. So you can see here one brake pad and another one brake pad, and this is the piston, and this is the wheel attached to this, and this is a rotor. So whenever the brake pedal pressed operates the master cylinder that moves the piston. So the brake pads pressed against the rotor, so the rotor stops, and in turn the wheel stops. So that's our given most that's the fundamental of the disc brakes. So the modern light vehicles have either disc brakes on the front wheels and drum brakes on the rear, or disc brakes on four wheels. So the nowadays this disc brakes are used in even two wheelers and four wheelers. So you can have disc brakes in the front wheels and also the drum brakes on the rear, or you can have disc brakes on four wheels. So as far as the disc brakes are concerned, it requires a greater force to operate them. So we need to apply a great force for the master cylinder when the brake is operated. And the next one is the hydraulic brakes. So you all know what's a Pascal law, and it operates on the Pascal law. So master cylinder, it distributes the fluid in the pipelines, and here the calipers are used to stop the vehicle by applying the clamping force with the brake pads to the rotating system. So the contact between the wheel and the wheel and the master cylinder is nothing but the calipers. So here the instead of drum and disc in the previous cases, here it is called the calipers, which are used to stop the vehicle physically. So these are all some of the brakes which we have already seen, and which are in of use in modern vehicles. But other than that also, we are having lot of improvements in a braking system in automobiles. There are so many innovations being arrived in braking systems. So what makes the braking systems to have innovative challenges? So you all know that nowadays era of IoT, that is Internet of Things. So Internet of Things has also transformed the today's world in various fields, and also in braking systems, because you know that um, transportations also being a very hazardous thing in the world. So when it comes to the transportation is safety. So that's one of the important things to be we have to have in mind. And IoT is trying to address that safety point of view in all our vehicles. So smart cars have smart sensors that allow you to alert the other vehicles on the road of potential road hazards, and also it will alert the reckless drivers who are coming opposite to you, or it will alert you for traffic delays in everything. So in US Department of Transportation is working with the car manufacturers to incorporate IoT technologies um, in a safety point of view, in order to reduce the road accidents by 80%. So in that cases, this what this car manufacturers and automobiles manufacturers are doing is they have to make a smart cars without drivers without driver's opinion or a decision making during the emergency conditions. There are so many sensors are being involved in car manufacturing. So in that case, we need some of the innovations to be made in order to stop the car instantly. So that makes the innovations to be carried out on brakes, right? So you know how the traffic it will be. So if if your car is this yellow one, and you are surrounded by back and sides all the vehicles and the zebra crossing, the people are crossing in a wrong way. So in that case, your car should sense all these critical conditions, and ease you to take a decision in such a emergency conditions. So in that place, you have to immediately stop the vehicle, where that braking system has to the innovation in braking system needs to be there, and it comes into play. So now you know that automotive braking systems are the latest developments and market trends for new vehicles. So automotive braking systems made the so many innovations in brakes. That's called foundation brakes. Uh, Including ceramic pads and twin brake systems and hybrid system, coated discs, and advanced calibers in hydraulic braking system, and anti-squeal technology. There are so many latest technological developments are being innovated, and it's being a market trends nowadays. And whenever if you take electronic brakes, it includes anti-lock, ABS, that is ABS, anti-lock braking systems, and what do you say, it is an electronic electronic sensing braking assistance, and braking assistance is there, and predictive braking is there, EPB is there, and ESP is there, and brake by wire, regenerative braking, autonomous energy emergency braking is there, and we need slip control in our brakes. So these are all some of the technological developments in automotive braking system. So automotive braking system, I think you all know how it works. So automotive, when we need a automotive braking system is in order to understand that, I want you In order to understand that, I want you people to go through how the ABS system works in um, how the ABS systems works uh, in a video. So I have given an in this website. If you go through this website, you can clearly understand how the anti-lock braking systems works. um, so I'll tell you something about automatic braking system, and you also go through the video definitely. um, so in anti automatic braking system or anti lock braking systems um, are being innovated due to the fundamental that while giving a brake, so the keep rotating, only the rotation of the wheel motion is being arrested, whereas the translation movement is not being arrested, so it's keep on moving. So in order to reduce the distance of a car moving when the sudden brake is being applied, so in order to do that, we have to arrest the translational movement also. So in that case, that automatic braking systems or anti-lock braking systems, everything are come into picture. So so innovative strategies for a braking system. So in that innovative strategies for braking system, in EVs, regenerative braking systems. So the electrification and emission strategies are driving technological innovations in the braking system sector, and and regenerative braking are seen as an integral part of the future as we move towards autonomous vehicle. So as you have seen in the thing in the next in the previous slide, so this regenerative braking is one of the latest technological development, and is being it's a market trend nowadays. So let's see that in a detailed manner, that regenerative braking system. So in a regenerative braking systems are seen as an integral part of the future as we move towards the autonomous vehicles. So in an autonomous vehicle, there are regenerative systems are included in these are all the some of the companies I have these are all some of the companies have listed here, where this regenerative braking systems are being included and innovated and included in these type of automotive vehicles. So let's see one by one. That's Chevrolet Bolt region on demand. So this let's go to Chevrolet. In a Chevrolet, saw the introduction of one pedal driving and region on demand paddle attached to the steering wheel to further reduce the demand on the conventional friction brakes. So that will operating in driving and easing of the accelerator, operating in drive and using a region on demand paddle on the back of the steering wheel. It's using a region on a demand pad in tandems. So whenever there is an emergency, there is an region on demand paddle which has been attached to steering wheel. that is being introduced as a regenerative braking in Chevrolet Bolt company in 2017. So so that also I will give it in a as a resource link. You can go through what is that region on demand paddle. So in Nissan company, they are the second one, the Nissan Leaf e-pedal. So they introduced e-pedal technology in the latest Leaf model, which allows the driver to start, accelerate, and deaccelerate, and stop using only the accelerator pedal. So the act of lifting the foot off the pedal engages the regenerative braking system and slows the vehicle. So while in stop and go city driving, so you have to stop the vehicle for so many times in a very congestive traffic jams and too much of vehicles in the roads, that the e-pedal is of very convenience, because it reduces the need to shift from one pedal to another and makes the driving more comfortable. So using only one pedal, you can start, accelerate, deaccelerate, and stop the vehicle, so that you needn't to shift your leg from one pedal to another. That's way it is the your driving more comfortable. So and the next one is it's a ZF integrated brake control. It's coming. It's in 2018. They have the demonstrating of blending technology that offers independent electronic boost for powertrain systems that provide more efficient regenerative braking. So in this, they have given an electronic stability control system and vacuum boosting system formally, which is being used to exploit the negative pressure in the engine's air intake system. Now it is being used to boost the braking powers. So that's also one new development and advancement in braking system. And in that case, you can see in Hyundai Mobis e-MEB electronic brake, they also ready to begin the mass production of new braking system that's called integrated Mobis electronic brake. That means IMEB, electronic brake. So that's an they are saying that it is a very advanced regenerative braking system. They developed a hydraulic fill brake pressure supply unit in the form of an electronic motor based system. Then it is integrated with the brake pressure supply unit and the brake control units. So it is having almost 30 control functions, including ESC and a single system. So it having front collision avoidance and advanced smart cruise control and electronic parking brakes. So these are all some of the features included in that Hyundai Mobis IMEB. So and in a Bosch also they have a redundant braking systems. So you know that the Bosch is a very international company. They are a key supplier of regenerative braking systems to the automotive market, and they are giving a solution for a fail degraded braking system. Is the combination of electromechanical brake booster, that is iBooster, and ESE, that is electronic stability control system. So both are independently capable of performing the braking function for a vehicle in the rare case of single failure. So if one system fails, the another system come into picture. That's also one of the very innovative development in as far as the regenerative braking systems are concerned. Okay, so that's about the some of the regenerative braking system technologies that is being included in various car companies. So that next is the I want to give you an introduction of new technology which aims to revolutionize the standard braking system. So that is nothing but brake pad materials. There are so many innovations being done in brake pad materials. So one of the thing is one of the case study which I have come through is a new polymer based brake pad could greatly improve the standard braking equipment on cars and trains by making them more efficient and also the cost effective. So that's being announced recently by the University of British Columbia, and those people are claiming that the brake pad materials are typically available in three categories like metallic, ceramic, and organic. So that group of researchers said new brake pads could revolutionize the braking system in car and science, and you can see the research is going on in that field. So this they claim that this new improved braking pads can prevent wear and tear, have better frictional properties than the brakes which are currently on the market, and it's all having the benefits and weakness inherent to their design like cost, durability, noise, and slow response times and increased temperature during the usage. So if it comes, it is something revolution in composite materials, and it will be a really breakdown during high temperatures and durability, friction, and wear testing. So that could be a revolution one. So finally, friends, I have given YouTube links for you. You can go through what is EWB braking technology. I'm sure and I'm damn sure that if you go through this YouTube links, you will have a fun, and you will be amazed and surprised to know about come to know about what are all the generative system or braking systems that are being invented and innovated in the normal braking systems. And you definitely go through this EVB and anti-locking and electronic brake distribution, and what is that brake assistance means. So you will find so many interesting factors in those fields, because electronic brake distribution is nothing but while applying the brake using that electronic distribution, then the weight of the car has been evenly distributed to in order to stop immediately and instantly. So that's thing about interesting thing about electronic brake distribution, and that electronic brake force distribution also there. That's one video is there, you should definitely go through. And one more thing is the brake assistance. Brake assistance is also one of the concept that has been introduced in braking systems. So that's all, boys. I'll also include some of the resource links which I have come across, and to prepare this PPT. Okay, thank you once again. Have a good day.